Tell me one secret you keep with you.
You're familiar with a fellow named Aleister Crowley?
I know who
Heard
he
him?
is. I know who he is.
Aleister Crowley is a guy that, based on his writings, believes in human sacrifice, doesn't he?
He also believed he was God, though.
Find me down so I can wait until I wake up.
He also had writings that indicated that children were the best type of human sacrifice, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But Aleister Crowley doesn't have any particular significance to you?
I know who he is. I've read a little bit about him, but I've never read anything by him.
So I can wait until I wake. I'll touch ground and I see everything that we could be. Tie me down so I can wait until I wake. Color me, all I see.
Let me show
Picture.
you a copy of some documents. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
Okay. What is that?
It was this paper I had on different alphabets for like translations where you could write things that nobody could read, and this was one of the forms.
Oh, okay. Well, where did you have that at? When did you do that? Write those things out?
Sometime before I was arrested, I guess.
Okay. Are you sure that you hadn't done those since you were arrested while you've been staying in jail?
I don't know, I might have.
Well, whose names are written on that document?
Mine, Jason's, my son's, one that says Aleister Crowley, and
Wait, who?
Aleister Crowley.
Now, this is a document that you've written while you've been waiting in jail for trial, right?
If you say so.
All I see is you. Is you.
Wrote it, correct? That's your writing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You recall when you wrote it?
Not really.
Well, what I'm going to ask you is that this Damien Seth Azariah Eccles, your son, he wasn't born until after you were placed in jail, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So if you've got his name listed on this document, then this document had to be generated after he was born, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this is something you've written since you've been sitting in here in jail waiting for trial.
Yes.
And what you were doing was writing out various names in different type alphabets, correct?
From the way it looks here, I was practicing, trying to memorize them.
Okay. And one of the names that you picked out to write about was this fellow named Aleister Crowley, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that just a total coincidence? You just pulled his name out of the air?
No, it's just the same book that I had with the different alphabets in it. It also had stuff about him in it.
Well, did you have the book out there at the time you were doing this?
This was just from what I remembered myself, where I was practicing, trying to memorize, get it all in my head.
So you were going over it, working on it in your head, and at that point in time, you write all this down from memory?
Mm-hmm.
The people that are listed on here, you've got your name on here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Jason Baldwin, which is your best friend, right? And then you've got Damien Seth Azariah Eccles, that's your son?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And then the only other name on this document, besides yourself, your best friend, and your son, is Aleister Crowley, correct?
Fire to your heart, trust in me, tear me apart, let me lead you. Fire to your heart, trust in me, tear me apart, let me lead you.
little boys?
Yes, sir. I heard Damian Nichols say that he killed the 3 boys.
Where were you? Was he saying that to you, or what were you doing?
I was walking by with my friend.
Call Jody Medford.
All right, again, this witness is requested not to be photographed.
Jody, I want to direct your attention to May of 1993, after the murders of the 3 little boys. Did you have occasion to be at the softball field and hear a comment in regard to the murder?
Yes, sir.
All right. Tell the jury first what you heard.
He said I killed the 3 little boys, and before I turn myself in, then I'm going to kill 2 more, and I already have one of them picked out.
You didn't recognize anybody else that was with him?
I saw Jason Baldwin there.
I see, picture me. All I see is you. Is you. Is you.
Hunter S. Thompson, a friend of yours, you met him late in his life.
Yep.
And we were talking about this earlier. In the literary firmament, contemporary literary firmament, where would we place Hunter S. Thompson?
I mean, for me, I think Hunter is one of the most, without question, one of the most important writers of the 20th century. He reinvented a style of writing.
Where'd you get this? Never mind, it's absolutely pure. What kind of monster client have you hooked up with this time? Satanism freak. I think there's only one source for this stuff. The, adrenaline gland from a living human body. I know. The guy didn't have any cash to pay me. He offered me human blood, said it would take me higher than I'd ever been in my life. Thought he was kidding.
Color me, all I see, picture me, all I see is you, is you.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, Dahlgren, he can't help when his happy looks insane.
Picture now, fear is gone. Tell me one secret you keep with you. With you. Find me down so I can wait until I wake up. Find me down so I can wait until I wake. I'll touch ground and I see everything that we could be. Tie me down so I can wait until I wake. Color me.
Discipline is the glue that holds me together. So I'm not an artist, not an actor, not a fucking musician. I'm a disciplinarian, self-disciplinarian.
I see, picture me, all I see is you, is you.
first came in, when I first came into the prison, the guards, I guess they decided they were going to throw me a welcome to the neighborhood party, so they put a knife in my cell and carried me back to the part of the prison they called a hole, where for the next 3 weeks they beat me, they starved me, and they tortured me in just about every way you can torture a human being. They beat me so bad I pissed blood. One of the things they did is they messed up my teeth. They caused a lot of damage in my teeth. Well, in prison there are no root canals, there are no crowns, there are no caps. I was in more pain than most people can imagine. Imagine the absolute worst toothache you've ever had in your life, and then imagine it multiplied by 10, and then imagining it lasting for years. Well, there was nothing I could do. You know, they told me, deal with the pain as long as you can, and then when you can't take it anymore, we'll pull your teeth out. I didn't want to live with no teeth. I didn't want to have to come and face my family with no teeth because I was beaten by a bunch of prison guards. So I had to learn things like Reiki, Qigong, therapeutic touch, you know, different types of meditation that allows you to deal with pain and physical illness and ailments. And
this was in what facility, your original facility?
That was in the one over there, yeah.
You have teeth now.
Exactly. It's allowed me to, these practices has allowed me to deal with the pain and keep it at bay enough to hold out.
After these boys died, how did you get pinpointed as one of the killers?
Back then, you know, things have changed a lot in the almost 20 years that I've been locked up. You know, now I'll see things on television. You'll have housewives that get tattoos and nose rings and things like that, and it wasn't like that back in 1993 in small town Arkansas.
Back then when this happened, what do you think it was that made the community, the state even, surrounding states, so certain that you guys were the ones that were involved in this?
This was 1993. Things were a lot different back then, even than they are now. You know, now you have housewives who have tattoos. And it wasn't really like that back then, at least not in Arkansas.
Nearly 4 months now after crews had reinstalled the Ten Commandments monument on the Capitol grounds, the Satanic Temple came back with their own statue.
The group's rally for the First Amendment brought Satanists, Christians, even the KKK to the Capitol steps. Scarecrow Jesse joining us now live.
All I see, picture